Hello, YouTube and geeky people of the world. I haven't made a video in a long time. Wow. But I figured this would be a good topic for me to kind of re-intro myself with. I've kind of had this question, this whole topic, on my mind for a while now. And the other night, I guess what's kind of inspired this video is a discussion I had with my brother, and we were talking for a couple hours actually about the simulation theory, and it turns out he knows a lot about this, and I'm not very good at explaining things putting my thoughts into words, unless I write it out on paper. But it kind of left me with a question, and it's a question that I had when I was a deeply religious person. And I guess I have to do a little backstory. It's just a little story though. When I was a very deeply religious person, I used to ask myself a lot of really deep questions, I guess cosmological stuff, or something, I don't know, whatever. I always wanted to know the nature of things and how the universe worked, and ask the bigger questions that aren't answered by any particular religious text. Although if you get really into it and read between the lines, people dissect religious text very well, and it comes up with some interesting stuff. But anyway, that's not what I wanted to talk about. When I was very religious, I would ask one big question, and that's kind of what my faith hinged upon as an adult. And my question was, if God isn't something that can be created, or if God has always existed and made the universe, well, then surely something or someone must have made God. And I completely forgot what this argument is called. But I mean, or if it's even an argument or just a question. But I used to ask that a lot, and it would just, if I research this, I get so deep into little off-topic things. And so back when I was in college, just for fun, I took an anthropology class, cultural anthropology, and I remember the day that I began to question my faith more seriously, and it totally changed me. I kind of I used this question as kind of my religious plate of armor. And when you're approaching big questions from that perspective, then of course it makes sense, because it's validating your worldview. But it doesn't work when you're confronting topics that don't fit into that. I don't know what I'm trying to say. So I asked my anthropology teacher, well, if God can't be created, then who made God? And I don't remember what we were talking about, but I thought I was super neat, and I thought I was too cool for school, because what the heck is he gonna say that's gonna change my mind, right? And it's kind of funny now that I think about it, because it's just such a silly little thing that he said, and it's not even that big of a deal. But Like at the time, it blew my mind. Like I remember just being like, whoa, this is a game changer, because I'd never thought about it from the way he said it. And what he told me was that when I asked him, if I asked him, well, here we are, here's the world, here's the universe, here's God, who obviously made everything. Like, who created God then, if you're so smart? And he's like, well, humans did. And this totally blew my mind. Like I said, I just never thought about it like that. And I just remember it like changed the way I saw things. And so I'm kind of reminded of that story now when I'm kind of thinking about the simulation theory. Like it's something I'm kind of thinking quite seriously about, because it's the only thing that kind of answers, I guess it doesn't, I don't mean that it answers my questions. It just kind of fits, if that makes sense. So when I was talking to my brother for a couple hours the other night, I was left with one big question, and it's kind of the same question. Like, well, instead of God, we're just going to replace it with this simulation or whatever, or whoever is out there, or like who created them, or who created the simulation if humans didn't, unless it's even if we are a figment of our own imagination on the other side. Like, it just still brings me back to the same question, like who created everything then? And this is a little bit different from some other theories, because you have to look at it from a perspective of something being created. So I guess I'm just kind of curious as to what you guys think. What are your thoughts on the simulation theory, and if it's something that, I don't know, I just want to know what people think. I would love to know your thoughts. I'd like to know more about this, and if you have any good content for researching it further, I'd love to know. And it might give me something even more interesting to talk about next time. Although I have another really fun video I want to make, kind of following up on my favorite astronomy apps. I have a video I want to make about my favorite kind of like geeky apps, or sciencey, nerdy, whatever. Yeah, so tell me what your thoughts are on that. And thank you for sticking around. All of my 2 subscribers, whoever's left. Yeah, have a nice day, guys. Bye.